Listen, nobody was ready for this. Fans tuned into the Sherri Shepherd Show expecting laughs, light shade, and daytime tea, but what they got instead had the entire internet freezing mid-scroll. Gayle King, the calm, collected media icon, the woman known for always keeping it classy, suddenly leaned forward, took a deep breath, and dropped an admission that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. And when we say jaws hit the floor, we mean hard. Audience members reportedly gasped. Sherri Shepherd herself blinked twice like, wait, did she really just say that? And within minutes, clips started circulating online with captions like Gayle finally said it, this changes everything, and Oprah needs to see this ASAP. Fans are shocked, insiders are whispering, and longtime friendships are now being questioned in real time. What was supposed to be a feel-good interview quickly turned into an emotional unraveling, years of silence, pressure behind the scenes, and a truth Gayle allegedly swore she'd never say out loud. Emotions ran high. The energy shifted. And by the time the cameras cut to commercial, one thing was clear. Daytime TV had just crossed into full-blown reality TV drama territory. So what exactly did Gayle King admit? And why are people saying this confession could change how we see her forever? Stay right here, because this story gets way deeper than anyone expected. The moment Gayle King's words left her mouth, the room changed. The laughter that usually floated through the Sherri Shepherd Show faded into a thick, uncomfortable silence. Cameras kept rolling, but you could feel the tension pressing through the screen. Gayle shifted in her seat, clasped her hands together, and gave a nervous half-smile that longtime viewers immediately clocked as something was wrong. This wasn't the polished media veteran fans were used to. This was someone standing on the edge of saying too much. Sherri tried to lighten the mood, letting out a soft laugh and saying, "Okay now Gayle, you can't just say that and move on," but even her voice carried a hint of uncertainty. The audience chuckled nervously, unsure whether they were supposed to laugh or brace themselves. Gayle glanced toward the crowd, then back at Sherri, and that's when she dropped the line that sent shockwaves across social media. She admitted that for years, she had been protecting a version of the truth that wasn't fully mine to protect. Fans are shocked because that sentence alone opened a floodgate of questions. What truth? Who was she protecting? And why now? Gayle paused, as if weighing every possible consequence in her head. Her eyes glistened, and she shook her head slowly. "People think they know me," she said quietly, "but there's been a lot I've carried because I thought it was the right thing to do." Behind the scenes, producers were reportedly scrambling. One insider later claimed the control room was buzzing, with staff whispering that this wasn't on the rundown. Sherri leaned forward, clearly torn between respecting her guests' boundaries and following the moment. "Was it your choice?" she asked carefully. "Or did you feel like you had to?" That question hit hard. Gayle exhaled sharply and replied, "I felt like if I didn't, everything would fall apart." Emotions ran high, and suddenly this daytime talk show moment felt like a therapy session unfolding in public. Fans watching at home flooded comment sections, speculating wildly. Some thought she was talking about her career. Others immediately brought up her high-profile friendships, especially the ones that have defined her public image for decades. The name everyone was thinking, though nobody said it out loud, hung in the air like smoke. Gayle seemed to sense it. She tilted her head and said, "When you're close to powerful people, the stakes are different. Your silence can protect, but it can also suffocate." That line alone was clipped, reposted, and dissected within minutes. Fans are shocked at how raw she sounded, and many said they'd never heard her speak like this before. Sherri's expression shifted from playful to serious. "Did that silence cost you something?" she asked. Gayle nodded slowly. "It cost me peace," she replied. "And sometimes, it cost me my voice." The audience let out a collective murmur. You could hear someone whisper "wow" from the crowd. It was clear this admission wasn't just about gossip. It was about years of internal conflict. Online, reactions exploded. Some fans praised Gayle for her courage, saying it took strength to admit something like that on national TV. Others accused her of being vague on purpose, claiming she was hinting at drama without fully owning it. Emotions ran high on every platform, with hashtags popping up within the hour, dissecting every frame of the interview. Sherri tried to ground the moment, asking if Gayle felt relieved finally saying this out loud. Gayle hesitated, then said, "Relief isn't the word. It feels like opening a door I kept locked because I was afraid of what would rush in." That metaphor only fueled the drama. Viewers began speculating about what exactly was behind that door. Industry secrets? Personal betrayals? Friendships tested behind closed doors? Sources close to the show later claimed that during the commercial break, Gayle was visibly shaken. She reportedly wiped tears away and asked for water, while Sherri reached over and squeezed her hand. One audience member said it felt like watching a family secret spill out in real time. The family was left divided, not by blood, but by loyalty and truth. When the cameras came back, Sherri asked the question everyone at home was screaming. "Do the people you were protecting know how heavy this was for you?" Gayle's answer was soft but loaded. "Some do," she said. Others preferred not to. That line sent fans into a frenzy. Who prefers not to know? And what does that say about their relationship with her? Gayle then admitted that there were moments she wanted to speak up, but felt boxed in by expectations. "There's this image," she explained, "of being strong, unbothered, always composed. I played into that because I thought that's what people needed from me." Her voice cracked slightly. "But nobody asks what you need." This confession struck a nerve with viewers, especially women who felt seen by her words. Still, the internet couldn't ignore the elephant in the room. Comments poured in accusing her of dancing around accountability. Others defended her, saying she was clearly processing something deeply personal. Fans are shocked at how polarizing the reaction became so quickly. Sherri asked if this admission would change anything moving forward. Gayle looked down at her hands, then back up. "It already has," she said. "There are conversations I can't avoid anymore." That single sentence hinted at fallout yet to come. Conversations with who? Friends? Colleagues? Family? The suspense was unbearable. As the segment continued, Gayle shared that she'd been urged in the past to keep things smooth and not rock the boat. She laughed bitterly at the memory. "Apparently, I was very good at it," she said. That laugh didn't reach her eyes, and viewers felt it. Emotions ran high as people realized this wasn't just about one moment, but a pattern stretching over years. Toward the end of the segment, Sherri gently asked, "Are you scared of what happens after today?" Gayle didn't answer right away. She took a long pause, the kind that feels like an eternity on live TV. "Yes," she finally said. "Because once you say something out loud, you can't pretend you didn't." That was the moment everything shifted from reflective to ominous. Fans immediately began speculating about backlash, damaged relationships, and behind-the-scenes phone calls that were probably already happening. Insiders claimed that as soon as the taping ended, Gayle's phone was blowing up with messages, some supportive, others demanding clarity. And just when viewers thought she was done, Gayle added one final line, almost under her breath. "I just hope the people involved understand why I had to say something." Sherri opened her mouth to respond, but the show cut to break, leaving that sentence hanging in the air. The screen faded out, but the drama was only just beginning, and whatever conversations Gayle hinted at were clearly about to spill into the public eye next. When the show went to commercial, the energy didn't calm down, it multiplied. Viewers at home were still staring at their screens, rewinding clips, pausing on Gayle's expressions, reading her lips like there was a hidden message tucked between every breath. By the time the episode ended, social media had already decided this wasn't just a casual confession. This was the beginning of something bigger. Within an hour, sources claiming to be close to the situation started popping up everywhere. One anonymous insider posted that Gayle had been wrestling with this decision for months, maybe even years. According to them, this admission wasn't spontaneous. It was something that had been sitting in her chest, heavy and unresolved, waiting for the right moment to slip out. Fans are shocked because the timing felt deliberate. Why now? Why on Sherri's couch? Meanwhile, Sherri herself addressed the moment in a brief backstage clip, saying, "That wasn't planned, y'all. That was real." Her words only added fuel to the fire. Emotions ran high as viewers realized this wasn't a scripted TV moment but a raw crack in Gayle's carefully maintained image. Some praised Sherri for giving her the space. Others accused her of pushing too hard. The family was left divided in the court of public opinion. Behind closed doors, the fallout reportedly began almost immediately. One source claimed that within minutes of the taping ending, Gayle stepped into a quiet hallway and took a phone call that visibly shook her. She allegedly turned away from staff, lowered her voice, and said, "I didn't say names." That line alone sent fans spiraling. If she didn't say names, that meant someone felt exposed anyway. Online detectives started connecting dots. Old interviews resurfaced. Past awkward moments were reanalyzed. Fans slowed down clips from years ago, claiming they could now see tension that had been hiding in plain sight. Comments flooded in saying things like, "We missed the signs," and "She's been holding this in forever." Emotions ran high as people realized how much context can change with one admission. One particularly viral post claimed Gayle's confession was about a loyalty test that went too far. The post alleged that she had been asked more than once to soften narratives, redirect conversations, and carry emotional weight that wasn't hers to carry. Again, no names were mentioned, but everyone felt the implication. Fans are shocked because Gayle has always been seen as the steady one, the anchor, the protector of balance. Another twist came when a longtime colleague, speaking anonymously, suggested that Gayle's silence had caused strain in her personal life. According to them, there were dinners that ended early, friendships that felt one-sided, and moments where Gayle questioned whether being loyal meant losing herself. "She's human," the source said. "But people forget that when you're expected to be strong all the time." As these claims spread, reactions from fans grew more intense. Some felt betrayed, saying they wanted transparency, not riddles. Others defended Gayle fiercely, arguing that nobody is owed her pain. The family was left divided between those who demanded answers and those who believed her boundaries should be respected. Emotions ran high in every comment section. Then came the reaction that really changed the tone. A well-known media personality, careful with their words, posted a cryptic message that read, "Truth has layers. Timing matters." They didn't tag anyone, but fans immediately linked it back to Gayle's interview. Speculation exploded. Was this support? A warning? Or subtle shade? Nobody knew, and that uncertainty only deepened the drama. Gayle herself stayed silent for nearly 24 hours. No tweets. No statements. No clarifications. That silence spoke louder than anything she could have said. Insiders claimed she was advised to wait, to let the noise peak before addressing anything further. Others said she was simply exhausted, emotionally drained from finally opening a door she'd kept locked for so long. During that silence, another unexpected twist surfaced. An old clip from years ago resurfaced where Gayle joked about carrying water for people who don't even know how thirsty you are. At the time, it was brushed off as humor. Now, fans are shocked at how prophetic it sounded. Emotions ran high as viewers realized her confession might have been hiding in plain sight all along. Friends close to Gayle reportedly had mixed reactions. One friend was quoted saying, "I'm proud of her, but I'm worried about backlash. Worried about relationships changing. Worried about how the industry treats women who stop playing their assigned roles." Another friend allegedly said, "This was inevitable. You can only swallow so much before it spills." The pressure only increased when fans began demanding a follow-up. Comments flooded the Sherri Shepherd Show's page, asking if Gayle would return. Others begged for a tell-all. Some even suggested a documentary. The appetite for more was undeniable. Fans are shocked by how quickly curiosity turned into expectation. Finally, Gayle broke her silence with a carefully worded message. She thanked viewers for their concern and said the conversation was ongoing and deeply personal. She didn't deny anything. She didn't confirm anything. And that ambiguity drove people wild. Emotions ran high as fans debated whether this was courage or calculated restraint. What made things even messier was the reaction from industry insiders who felt implicated by her words. Some dismissed the drama as overblown. Others quietly distanced themselves. One producer allegedly told a colleague, "This is why people don't talk." That statement alone reignited debates about power, loyalty, and silence in media spaces. As the days passed, it became clear that Gayle's admission had cracked something open that couldn't be closed again. Relationships felt strained. Conversations felt loaded. Every public appearance was scrutinized. Fans are shocked because one honest moment on a daytime couch had snowballed into a full-blown reckoning. And just when it seemed like the story might cool down, another rumor began circulating. According to whispers, there was someone in Gayle's inner circle who felt blindsided, someone who believed the admission crossed an unspoken line. Texts were exchanged. Feelings were hurt. And a confrontation, whether public or private, seemed inevitable. By the end of the week, one thing was certain. Whatever Gayle King had started on that stage wasn't finished. The silence, the reactions, the divided opinions all pointed to one conclusion. This wasn't the climax of the story. It was the setup. And somewhere behind the scenes, a conversation was brewing that could either heal old wounds or turn quiet tension into something far more explosive, setting the stage for what was about to come next. As whispers of that brewing confrontation grew louder, the atmosphere around Gayle shifted in a way fans had never seen before. Every move she made was suddenly interpreted as a signal. When she skipped a public appearance she was scheduled for, people immediately assumed it was connected to the fallout. Emotions ran high as supporters worried about her well-being, while critics claimed she was avoiding accountability. According to multiple unnamed sources, the tension reached a breaking point during a private meeting that took place just days after the interview aired. This wasn't some casual check-in. It was described as heavy, emotional, and long overdue. Gayle allegedly walked into that room knowing the conversation could change everything. One insider said she looked calm on the outside but was shaking on the inside. The person she was meeting with, whose identity remains the subject of endless speculation, reportedly didn't waste time. "You put me in a position," they allegedly said. "You made people look at me differently." Gayle, according to the source, didn't raise her voice. Instead, she listened. That alone surprised everyone, because for once, she wasn't there to smooth things over. She was there to be honest. Fans are shocked by what allegedly came next. Gayle reportedly responded, "I didn't tell the whole story. I told my truth." That line has since become a rallying cry for her supporters and a point of frustration for her critics. Emotions ran high in that room as years of unspoken expectations finally surfaced. The source claimed there were moments of silence so heavy it felt suffocating. The meeting reportedly ended without resolution. No hugs. No reassurances. Just an understanding that things were no longer the same. The family was left divided in a way that couldn't be patched up with a phone call or a public appearance. When Gayle left, she allegedly said, "I can't keep shrinking myself to make this easier." Those words, if true, marked a turning point. Soon after, subtle shifts began appearing in public. People who once openly praised Gayle stopped mentioning her. Collaborations fans expected never materialized. Eagle-eyed viewers noticed that long-standing patterns had changed. Emotions ran high as fans debated whether this was quiet retaliation or simply coincidence. Either way, the energy felt different. Adding fuel to the fire, a former associate broke their silence in an off-the-record conversation that somehow made its way online. They claimed Gayle had always been the emotional buffer, the one sent in to soften edges and clean up messes. She was the fixer, they said. And fixers don't get thanked. They get used to. Fans are shocked by how that narrative resonated with so many people. At the same time, not everyone was on Gayle's side. A separate source argued that her admission was unfair, claiming it opened wounds without offering clarity. "You can't drop a bomb and then say it's personal," they said. Emotions ran high as this perspective gained traction, especially among those who felt indirectly implicated by her words. The pressure mounted when a rival media outlet teased an upcoming segment promising context the audience hasn't heard yet. That teaser alone sent fans into a frenzy. Was someone else about to speak out? Was Gayle's truth about to be challenged? The family was left divided again, bracing for another wave of drama. Gayle, for her part, appeared to retreat inward. Friends claimed she spent more time at home, avoiding unnecessary noise. One friend said, "She's not hiding. She's processing." Still, every move was watched. When she was photographed looking serious during a routine outing, headlines painted it as proof she was under stress. Emotions ran high as her private life became public property. Then came another twist. During a separate interview with a different host, Sherri was asked about the Gayle moment. She chose her words carefully but admitted, "Some conversations change relationships forever." That statement reignited everything. Fans are shocked at how one unscripted moment continued to ripple outward, touching people who weren't even in the room. Rumors began circulating that Gayle was considering a deeper sit-down, maybe not now, but someday. Not a tell-all, but a conversation about boundaries, loyalty, and the cost of silence. Just the idea of it made some people nervous. Emotions ran high behind the scenes as advisors reportedly disagreed on whether that would help or hurt her. Meanwhile, supporters organized online, praising Gayle for prioritizing herself. They shared stories of their own silence, their own moments of choosing peace over truth. Critics pushed back, arguing that public figures have a responsibility to be clear. The family was left divided between empathy and expectation, with no easy middle ground. One particularly emotional fan post went viral, saying, "She showed us that even the strongest people get tired." That sentiment struck a chord. For the first time, the narrative shifted slightly away from gossip and toward reflection. Emotions ran high as people began to see Gayle not just as a media figure, but as a woman navigating impossible choices. Still, unresolved tension lingered. The person from that private meeting had not spoken publicly, but their silence felt loud. Insiders claimed there were ongoing conversations happening quietly, away from cameras. Whether those talks would lead to understanding or deeper fractures remained unclear. As weeks passed, the story refused to fade. Every mention of Gayle carried an undercurrent of what she had dared to say and what she still hadn't. Fans are shocked by how one admission had peeled back layers of an industry built on appearances and restraint. And as the noise continued, one thing became increasingly obvious. Gayle had crossed a line she could never uncross. Whatever came next would require more honesty, not less. The question wasn't whether there would be another chapter. It was who would speak first, and whether the next truth would heal old wounds or ignite a fire that no amount of silence could put out. As that question lingered, the atmosphere around Gayle grew even heavier. Every time her name trended, it came with a mix of admiration and suspicion. Some fans said she looked freer. Others said she looked burdened. Emotions ran high because nobody could agree on whether speaking her truth had liberated her or trapped her in a new kind of spotlight. Behind the scenes, sources claimed that conversations were still unfolding, slow and careful. Not explosive arguments, but measured talks filled with pauses and half-finished sentences. One insider described it as years of emotional debt being renegotiated. According to them, Gayle was no longer willing to be the silent glue holding everyone else together. Fans are shocked because that role had defined her public image for so long. Another twist came when a longtime friend of Gayle's, careful not to reveal too much, hinted that this moment had been building quietly. "People see the smile," they said, "but they don't see the compromises." That comment reignited debates about how often women, especially in powerful circles, are expected to absorb discomfort for the sake of harmony. Emotions ran high as that idea resonated far beyond this one story. Meanwhile, media coverage began to shift tone. Instead of asking what Gayle meant, outlets started asking why her honesty felt so disruptive. Panel discussions debated whether her admission challenged unspoken rules. Fans are shocked at how quickly the conversation turned from gossip to something more uncomfortable. Who benefits from silence? And who pays the price when it finally breaks? Gayle herself eventually addressed the ongoing speculation in a brief, measured appearance. She didn't offer new details, but her words carried weight. "I'm learning that clarity doesn't always come from explaining," she said. "Sometimes it comes from standing still in your truth." Emotions ran high as viewers tried to read between the lines yet again. Was this closure, or just another pause? Not everyone was satisfied. Critics accused her of controlling the narrative without fully engaging it. Supporters argued that she didn't owe anyone a breakdown of her boundaries. The family was left divided once more, with each side convinced they were defending fairness. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds, reflecting a larger tension about vulnerability and expectation. Privately, sources claimed Gayle felt both relief and grief. Relief at no longer carrying something alone, and grief for the version of relationships that could never return. One source said, "She knew the cost before she spoke. She just decided the cost of staying silent was higher." Fans are shocked by how much that sentiment echoed their own experiences. As time passed, the feared explosion never quite came. No dramatic public call-outs. No viral confrontations. Instead, there was a quiet recalibration. Some relationships cooled. Others deepened in unexpected ways. Emotions ran high as fans realized real life doesn't always deliver cinematic endings, just gradual shifts. Industry insiders noted that Gayle seemed more selective, more deliberate. She chose her words carefully, not out of fear, but out of intention. One observer said, "She's not performing composure anymore. She's practicing it." That distinction mattered. It suggested growth, not retreat. Still, unanswered questions remained. Who felt exposed by her words? Which conversations were still unresolved? And would there ever be a moment where everything was laid out plainly? Fans are shocked because the lack of neat answers kept the story alive, hovering between closure and continuation. In quieter moments, supporters reflected on why this admission had struck such a nerve. Maybe it wasn't about Gayle alone. Maybe it was about how many people see themselves in someone who appears strong but feels constrained. Emotions ran high as that realization spread, reframing the drama as something deeply human. As weeks turned into months, the intensity slowly softened, but the impact remained. Gayle's admission became a reference point, a reminder that even the most composed figures carry unseen weight. The family was left divided not because of one sentence, but because that sentence cracked open conversations many weren't ready to have. In the end, what lingered wasn't scandal, but unease. A sense that something important had been acknowledged, even if it wasn't fully explained. Fans are shocked because they expected fireworks and got reflection instead. And maybe that was the most unsettling outcome of all. Gayle didn't step back into the exact role she once held. She stepped forward into something less defined, more honest, and undeniably more complicated. The story didn't end with answers. It ended with a shift. And for everyone watching, the real drama wasn't what she said on that couch, but what it revealed about the cost of silence, and the courage it takes to finally let it go. So now it's on you. After everything that unfolded, after every pause, every loaded sentence, and every unanswered question, what do you really think Gayle King was trying to tell us? Was this a long overdue moment of honesty, or a carefully measured step meant to protect more than it revealed? Fans are still shocked, emotions are still running high, and the conversation is far from over. This story didn't give us a clean ending, and maybe that's the point. Silence was broken, but not everything was said. Relationships shifted, but lines were never clearly drawn. And that leaves one big question hanging in the air. Did Gayle finally choose herself, or did she open a door that can never truly be closed again? The answers depend on who you ask, and that's why this moment keeps dividing people. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Gayle did the right thing by speaking her truth, even without naming names? Or do you feel like public figures owe the audience full clarity once they hint at something this serious? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is bigger than one interview, and your voice matters here. If you felt the tension, if you caught the subtle shifts, if you've ever felt the pressure of staying quiet to keep the peace, then you already know why this story hits so hard. And trust us, this isn't the last time this conversation will come up. Make sure you like this video if you felt the drama, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what happens next, and turn on notifications because stories like this never really end quietly. The next chapter could drop at any moment, and you don't want to be the one catching up late. Comment below, keep the discussion going, and stay locked in.